Happy Monday to you guys. It's book talk time. I managed to read 2 books this last week. One of them was The Haunting of Sunshine Girl by McKenzie. I did read it on my Kindle, but we also have it in our collection here in the library. It's checked out right now, but you're welcome to put it on hold if you like. It's actually, this began, I believe, as a YouTube web series, and then a novel was written based on that or out of that. And the book is actually really good. I actually, in my opinion anyway, I thought it was fairly suspenseful and fairly creepy. It does have to do with ghosts. I don't want to tell you too terribly much about it because I want you to be able to be surprised by revelations in the story. I will tell you though that the main character's name is Sunshine. She lives with her mother, who is a nurse, and they have recently relocated, which is actually not her mother. She was adopted as a baby. Someone dropped her off at a hospital, but you know that fairly early on in the story. Well, she and her mother have moved to the Pacific Northwest, I can't remember exactly where it is, into a house that is creepy. Okay, they use the word creepy a whole lot in the description of this house at the very beginning. And it turns out it's not just a creepy feeling. There's things going on. Again, I'm not going to tell you too terribly much about it, but there are ghosts involved, and it's really pulled me along through the story, and definitely, like I said, had that great creepy factor to it. So check it out if you like stuff like that. The other book I read was called The Girl Who Fell, and promotional materials for this book, blurbs for this book, they go ahead and tell you that the girl, the main character in the book, is going to meet a guy who is not good. Okay, so I knew already when I started reading this book that this was going to be about a terrible relationship with a manipulative boy. Now, that said, while I was reading the book, I was like, oh, girl, just see what he's doing. He's doing these things, and you don't know he's doing them, and you think they're just happening, and he's being all sweet. He's not sweet. He's creepy and awful, and I hate this guy. See it. See it. So it was kind of a stressful book, but I did, after reading the whole thing, I did appreciate the way the whole subject was treated. There were some times where I felt like they got a little overwrought and maybe a little bit too obvious, where it's like you're reading the book and you're thinking, how does she not know this is happening? A lot of very intense emotional experiences she's having, which if you've never been in a very intense emotional relationship, then you might think, oh, that's not the way it works. But for some people it does. For some people, relationships can be all-consuming to the point where you don't see things that everybody else is seeing and telling you, this person's not good for you, you need to run swiftly in the other direction from this person. But it was also, like I said, not only was it a little bit stressful and a little bit like, you know, you want to slap the girl around a little bit just to get her to wake up and see what's going on, but there were some parts that were also really, really creepy. Okay, so if you like Lifetime movies, if you like stories about people in intense relationships, we have this one in the library as well. Again, it's called The Girl Who Fell by Parker. We have it in romance, but definitely file this one under unhealthy relationships. But like I said, it was entertaining, and I think the way that everything worked out, I'm not going to tell you what the end was, but I was pleased. Okay, I was upset, and then I was stressed, then I was creeped out, and then I was pleased. So check it out if you like stuff like that. It's also checked out actually right now, but you can put it on hold and we'll let you know when it comes in. That's all I have for this week, so we'll see you on Thursday with Dip.